Hey there, everybody. It's Joycelyn Wells with mySHAPE.Spotlight. And today we're featuring Drea Mills. If you don't remember, mySHAPE.Spotlight is just an opportunity to highlight the small business owner, the dreamer, the writer, just to kind of bring light to who we are. And so I have with us realtor. She is a realtor and a visual artist. Her name is Drea Mills. Hi, Drea.
Hey, Joy. Thanks for having
Hey.
me.
Oh, sure. Thank you. So let's take a minute to find the stream on your on Facebook, and then you can share it to your page so
Okay.
everybody can see ya.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah. Oh, you look amazing. I'm looking at the stream. Mine even look blurry over here. I'm like, I need to clean my camera or something. That didn't help it right there. I just got all smushy, smudgy. All right, that's gonna be fine. Yeah, so just share it. If you see it, go ahead and share it, and we'll get started.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So, welcome. Thank you so much for spending your late Saturday morning with me for a little girl time, little chat session.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
why don't you take a minute or so? Just it doesn't even matter how long. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, who you are.
I am Drea Mills. I'm a transplant here in Atlanta from upstate New York. Been here since 2004. What else? I'm a mother. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a photographer, and I am, I call myself a daughter of the universe.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
I can. So let's first of all this. Why you had the whole month of April to choose, and you chose 4-3. Why 4-3?
because numbers are important to me, I broke down 4-3, and from what I remember, oh gosh, see,
Oh, that's okay.
wait, but no, the way it broke down, it it signified like expression, self-expression, creative expression,
Ah,
new beginning.
yeah.
So that was significant to me.
I spent some time with a numerologist at an event a couple of years ago, and when she was doing our numbers across the crowd, and when she was doing my number, which I have to look and see what it was, I literally stood up in my chair and was like, "Yes!" Because it was almost like she was reading me. And
Hmm.
I've never had I didn't numbers were just numbers.
Right.
But after that experience, now I pay more attention. I haven't got into them to determine whether my if I'm going to choose that day or not. But now when I see them or when I think about me as a person, I'm always reflecting to that. Have you
Hmm.
studied numbers for long, or is it just play for you?
I can't really call it studying. I mean, I'm into it. I've paid attention to number patterns ever since I pretty much started my spiritual journey.
Okay.
Um, because I started seeing repetitive numbers and certain number patterns a lot. So it made me pay attention. So yeah, as I started to kind of look it up,
Yeah.
I started seeing them more.
Yeah.
But
When you mentioned starting your spiritual journey, like
mhm.
was there an event that kind of like got you there, or has it always been just kind of your move?
I think I've probably always been into it.
Hmm.
Because I always used to, read horoscopes, look at the stars and the moon, and astronomy events and stuff like that. I didn't know why I was into it, but I just was into it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anybody, but growing up in a religious family, going to church all the time, none of that ever really made sense to me.
Hmm.
And I never felt like I was supposed to feel, like I guess other religious people feel. I always
Right.
felt kind of out of place.
Right.
So I just knew there was something else, and there, things needed to be questioned.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, fast forward to 2015 when I split up from my son's father. We were married, we split, and I just went through a period of, who am I? What do I want? What do I love? What do I want to do? Just trying to figure myself out. Why am I here? So
Mm-hmm.
it started then. It's been about 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah. I think that first of all, no one takes offense with me because I don't, everybody knows like she's a child of the sun. That's how I call myself. So no, everybody knows I'm for everybody. I'm everything.
Right.
So please feel comfortable and free to say what you want to say. And this is a very safe and comforting space. And that's just like the energy I like to give. So
Okay.
don't, we not,
I
no,
appreciate that. I
yeah,
just, I
just aware.
people are touchy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're aware. And I appreciate that. I think that the most important thing, especially talking about when we leave those crazy ass relationships and we have to figure out who we are, the thing that's most important to me is don't question what I've said. There's a reason I said it.
right,
So,
right, right.
like,
There's a
you're like,
reason for
I've been
everything.
through enough. You're like, I've been through enough. You are a human. You don't get to question my statement. There's a reason I'm comfortable making it. So that's fine.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I can definitely understand that leaving those relationships. And the funny thing is, when we're in the relationships, we don't understand how much of ourselves we lost or we don't know or that we haven't tapped into.
Say that. Say that. Like, and that was the problem. I was losing myself, and
Yeah.
it has happened more than once. So it's like I had to get to a point where I was strong enough in my foundation, rooted, and still had a voice.
Yes.
And that's what the date 4-3 is about. Is when I said expression,
Mm-hmm.
I have struggled with my voice.
Oh, wow.
What I want to say, just saying what's on my mind, saying things out loud, all throat chakra
Yeah.
stuff. So I've struggled with that. So I had to do it today.
Well, good. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for being here. And I think that people don't understand, like, people don't understand when your intention is to love and take care of. We give it all. We empty the box on it. We put it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't understand we're supposed to be getting something back. We feel like we have enough for us and them. And then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
realize I'm empty and I'm unhappy. What now? So I've been in those situations a couple times with my ex-husband and then another relationship. And then I got finally strong enough to say the person who loves me will love me as the universe loves me. And that
Mm-hmm.
you're capable of everything that I am and you're accepting of the woman I am. And that really got rid of a lot of crap.
Absolutely. And then you have to, at least for me, I had to come to a point of, why do I feel empty? Why am I losing my voice? Why do I not feel comfortable expressing myself? I had to look at myself and the things that I grew up dealing with, and
Mhm.
not point the finger at the other person. Because I mean, to be honest, my marriage probably failed because of me.
Yep.
It wasn't
Yeah,
because of
I'm
him.
with you.
It definitely wasn't because of him. So it's just you grow, you learn, and you just try and do better.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing is like people always want to point the finger at someone else. And
Mm-hmm.
the biggest truth is in the mirror. Like I
Yep.
say that all the time. Tell yourself the truth. Like, and I had to kind of dive into that piece of me because I'm like, well, he hasn't changed Am I changing?
Right, right,
He hasn't,
right.
like he's fine with the way that things are. And then it wasn't that he wouldn't change for me. It was that I had allowed myself to stop growing in that space. And then
Yeah.
I was miserable and
Mhm.
unhappy and tired of the verbal abuse and the emotion. Like hell, it had been going on before we got married. Then 17 years later, I was like, I'm out.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But it makes us stronger. And I think honestly, and you're a child of the universe, I think honestly, when those things happen, the universe is demanding of us what she's given us. It's
Hmm.
like you've been in this space for long enough. I need Drea to come and
Right. Right.
right.
Right. To be
Yeah.
who she
Mhm.
who I brought her here to be.
To be. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Because that goodness, that Drea, that those qualities which were given to you even from the beginning of time are required to move the universe forward. Like you're
Right.
required, right? And so when we
Exactly.
end up in those, yeah, when we end up in those yucky ass situations, it's kind of like, okay, I'm tired of her in this shit. Time to go. Let's go.
Right. Right.
I
And
think
honey,
that's
the
so funny,
universe
man.
be tired of me.
Yeah.
Be
No,
tired of me.
the universe will never tire of you. The universe has everything that you will need. And I literally, I believe that. Like, it took me a long time to understand that I was a part of, but my role is giant. Like, I'm a small part of, but my responsibilities are great.
Hmm.
Um, and I couldn't afford to get caught up in bullshit anymore. I had to be free, right?
Word. For real.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell a story, and it might make you blush a little bit. But I remember when I met you in person the first time.
I was
Oh,
thinking about that the other day. I was like, I wonder if she's gonna talk about
yeah.
that.
You know what? I'm just gonna talk about
I don't care.
seeing
You
you in
could.
person. Well,
It's whatever.
I'm gonna talk about it because it was the impact of you in person. Because we were in a Facebook group together, and I would
Hmm.
see you on the Facebook group in the group, and then I happened to be at a event that you were there, and I just all I wanted to do. I'm gonna say this on in the afternoon. All I wanted to do was to get close enough to smell you. I just remember you looking so kind and so pleasant that I wanted to be next to you. That's all I was thinking.
Oh, ah.
He is a good person.
I am great to be next to and great to
Yeah,
smell.
yeah. But just to be able to, recognize that instant attraction to this a powerful energy. And that's what I think of when I see you. Like this woman is so powerful. And then as I got to know you and to watch you, I've realized that you're figuring out your path just the same, but you have this light. There's something in you that says, I got my shit together.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Some days I don't know. Some days I feel like I do, and other days I'm like, what the hell? But I appreciate you so much because whatever you see in me, you always give me my flowers and you always let me know. I appreciate you for that.
Oh, absolutely. And that I think that's a part of my growth is that I just feel like I'm gonna as long as I give love without an expectation of receiving, it's gonna be given to me. It also says I have to be open to receiving it from wherever it comes, right? So
Hmm.
I, instead of looking at a person to love me, I get love from everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
sounds crazy.
Right. No,
I
I
do.
mean, and it starts with us anyway. That's the journey that I'm on is, learning to love and accept myself so that I can attract all the love, the kind of love that I want, that I desire, and that I deserve. So,
Mhm. Yeah, and it may not, and the thing is, it may not be from a person. I say I get love in all my nooks and crannies because that means interactions at the grocery store, just the kindness. I take them. I'm not, and I just give and I receive without putting an expectation of a single human
Yeah,
to give me. They got their own path.
right. And I mean, there's so many different forms of love. It's not
Yeah,
always about romantic love.
yeah,
I mean, my wind chimes are playing right now. That's love to
absolutely,
me.
absolutely. Yeah.
So it's simple stuff.
And you mentioned the romantic love. A lot of people get lost in that and feel like that's going to be the thing that gets them to the next place, but it's not. That,
Right.
and it's almost like, that ain't nothing.
Right.
I need something deeper than that. I need something else, right? So,
Exactly.
but that comes from knowing yourself. So,
Hmm.
yeah, just kind of get, and it's so crazy because people really don't understand what goes on in the brain of a woman, of a thinking creative woman. I don't know about all women, but
So
you're
much.
a creative. You're a creative, and you have amazing artwork. How did that start with you, with your photography and
Oh my goodness. You know, that story continues to unfold. I remember growing up, I was always into fashion magazines and not necessarily looking at the fashion, but I used to just stare at the pages,
oh wow,
looking at the composition of the photo, the symmetry, like the image itself, trying to figure out what story it was trying to tell. So it was the actual picture, not the clothes on the page. So I was so into that. I collected fashion magazines, took a photography class in, I believe, high school and college, probably. Yeah, definitely college, but didn't know that that was my passion.
mm,
So, I'm grown, working all these years, working a job, just,
milling about.
yeah, just trying to figure it out. And then one day, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, probably, I took a picture and it was like just a stupid, probably a selfie or something dumb, but it made me cry. So just that
Mm,
reaction, I was like, that's it. That's it. This is what I love to do. So I went to Witch's Brew with my homie Gigi
yes, love her too.
and in New Orleans, and it just came out. Spirit just let me know, like, this is it. I just was in a trance, with everything visually and aesthetically around me, and all I was doing was just taking pictures the whole trip. And from then on, I was like, okay, this is the only thing that gives me that type of deep reaction.
Hmm.
I feel it deeply in my soul. So I said, this is something I need to pursue. So
Okay.
now I'm just trying to figure out, I guess, what type of story I want to tell or what type of photography I want to do. And, I didn't get into it to really monetize it. I really
Yeah.
got into it for the art of it, just for the expression of it, to get whatever's in here out. So,
Well, that you're saying this, I have a couple of clients that I'm doing their books for. So maybe I can tell you what I'm looking for, and maybe we can use a couple of your pieces for cover art for their book covers.
ooh,
Yeah. So we can talk about that off camera, but
okay.
um yeah, I mean, like I have a lot of projects in the works. They keep piling on, and it's amazing because I'm not tired from them because I think it's in my gift. Like you found photography. I think
Hmm.
it's in my gift. I remember in high school, I said I wanted to be a psychiatrist.
Hmm.
And somebody asked me, well, how are you going to make money from it? And then I just didn't. And then here I am years later, and have a whole business helping people to kind of find themselves. And I'm like,
Right. Exactly.
damn, I was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on it. So I love that creative piece of you, and I love that you recognized when it was time to own it. Because when your gift shows up, or the gift is always there, when you embrace it, it's almost like your lighting of what you see changes. It's like
Right.
now you can see.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. So
It opens up so much
yeah.
of, just inside and outside of yourself. It opens up so much.
When you posted your pictures from when you posted some pictures, and I was like, "Oh, I want to buy one," and you were like, I'm not selling them yet."
I sold them that day.
Yes, yes, yes,
I started
yes,
selling them that day.
yeah. Because because that's a part of the voice. That's a part of understanding that I am great. I'm great, and screw you, right? I'm great. Like because you probably spent a lot of time waiting for validation outside of you.
I spent a lot of time. What did I spend a lot of time doing? Just
Yeah,
doubting that I had
yeah.
anything to contribute or give, or any gift at all. And now I look back and I'm like, you were always drawing, you were always coloring, painting, just anything, writing. I was always doing those things, but it just never clicked. Like, hello, you are creative.
Yeah.
You can do
Well,
things.
and you know what I figured out is that when we're doing those things and it's not something that's known in our growing or learning environment, it's not necessarily supported. It's not that it's not supported,
Right.
but it's not supported. It's like nobody's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm gonna send it too." Or you should do. Nobody's telling you. They're just like, "Oh, my baby can draw. Oh yeah,
Right.
that's nice.
Right.
Fix me some dinner."
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And then you realize like, oh, they couldn't say anything because they didn't know. And
Right.
that kind of goes in line with the conversation that I had with somebody talking about your family won't support you in business. And I was telling them that your family isn't supposed to support you in business. Your family loves you. They love all of you, not
Right.
business. The,
Right.
the money comes from the third and fourth tier once you get beyond family. Like the family, they'll buy one thing and be like, "Oh, that's so great. Remember
Right. Right.
me?"
Right.
Yeah, but it's the people who don't know who are drawn to the natural talent that natural gift that you're putting out. That's where the recognition and the appreciation really comes from.
Hmm.
Because inside, these are the people that have supported you through first everything.
Right.
And not you wrote a book. You're surprised. You're the one that's surprised about it. They're like, "Oh, good for you." They're not worried about that. So, so that's the thing about that, and I love that you recognize the gift in you, and I wonder how do you get to use that gift in your choice of real estate? How do you merge those two things?
Well, I do want to get to a point where I do real estate photography.
Mm,
So yeah, that's how I would merge the two together.
mhm.
Um, so that's a plan. That's
Yeah.
a goal.
So you need to. Do you want to do real estate photography on a? This is how my business mind works because I've been trying to figure out what to do next. Do you want to do real estate photography on like realtor.com, or do you want your name or some other name dot something and you have the listings on your page and you click in the pictures? Like how is it that you want to what is it that you want to do with the real estate photography?
Well, I would definitely like to shoot for other agents' listings.
Okay.
That's a given. But I want to see my pictures in magazines and trade publications, and when I'm walking through the airport,
Let's
or
do it.
I want to see my pictures all around. So yeah.
Let's do it. Wait, look, that can happen. Let's do it. Let's do that. Yeah, that'll be. I'm. It's so crazy because I'm literally in this space of let's do it. Like that's literally like I ain't got no capital, but we can figure it out. Like let's do it. Let's make it
Right.
happen.
And
Like,
that's the whole thing. It's like, everybody knows everything you want to do takes money,
yep.
so and for photography, lenses and all
Yeah.
equipment, all that stuff is super expensive. So it's a growth process
It is a slow
with all of that.
process, but do you have if you have a particular camera and lenses and stuff that you want, we
Oh
could probably
yeah, I
listen.
have. There's two particular lenses that I have my eye on. So
Okay. Well then
yeah.
you know what? So here's the thing. It's like everything is a moment of growth. And I literally that's what my company is, my Shape Solutions, self-help and personal empowerment. That's what Shape stands for. And for me, it's like I've made so many amazing relationships using social media, and so many people have dreams and ideas. And my goal is to help them bring them to life. Like, and it's just what I'm doing. And it's crazy because it's like last month I said, I'm gonna sign 10 new clients, and I was on some BS. And I signed my 10th client on the 29th.
Wow.
I know. I was like, and I was sick because of my COVID vaccine. I had all these crazy things going on, and they were,
Right.
and I just couldn't believe it. So I just realized I feel so powerful, and I feel like I told September Archie, she's a chef, and so
Hmm.
she and I were talking, and I told her, I said, listen, no one will get rich off of me, but we can get rich together. We gonna figure this thing out together. And
Nice.
and I mean it. And I think that's how power works. Like
Hmm.
we can all figure out pieces of it. And so
Right.
let's look, we'll talk afterwards and see what you're trying to do.
Collaboration over
Yes.
competition.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. And that's the beautiful thing about it is like when you meet some genuinely good people and people who know that they are as you are, they're on their path, know that they belong to the universe and not to themselves. You
Hmm.
really, that's a good relationship to have. It's like, we can figure this out because we ain't yanking from each other. So that's cool. So you, how long have you been in doing the real estate?
Since 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what brought you to real estate?
Um, I wanted freedom. I wanted to, set my
Yeah.
own schedule. I wanted to just do my own thing. I didn't want to be, I was sick of being chained to the desk,
Yeah.
chained to, and working for somebody else, making them rich, making their
Mhm.
dream, bigger. And I'm tired of that.
That's
I'm tired of that.
you were working in the legal field, right?
Yes, paralegal.
I remember when you said you were changing careers, and I was like, congratulations, buy some champagne. I forgot about that
Yes.
until just now.
Yeah, I do paralegal work. Well, I have a background in paralegal work
Yeah.
from years of being in car insurance,
Mhm.
an insurance adjuster. So I don't know. Every year I would just sit there and the New Year's would come around and it'd be like, nothing is changing.
Wasn't feeding you.
I'm sick of this.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
feeding you. You
right.
you weren't being fed. You were just there.
No, I was just there. And finally I was like, you know what? If you wanted to change, you're gonna have to do something different. So
Boom.
I mean, it was just the light bulb moment. It's only gonna change if you make it change. So
Yeah.
I decided to take my real estate course. Didn't know how I was going to do it because I'm
Mhm.
like, who's going to keep my son, and where am I going to? Just how is this going to work out? And
Yeah.
as soon as I decided to do it and signed up, the pieces just fell into place.
Right.
Like people were, here and here helping me, and I'll keep them this night, and it
Yeah.
just all came together.
Yeah. And that's it's so crazy talking about it because people have no idea how generous the universe is when you say something. Like,
All you have to do is decide.
yeah,
That's it.
that's it. As
That's
soon as
it.
you say it out loud, it just starts falling around you.
The ancestors and spirit and the universe, whatever you want to call it, they pick it
Yeah,
up and they're like, oh, okay, this is what we doing.
this is
Boom.
it. Let's go.
Let's
We were
go. Yeah,
waiting
we
for
were
this.
waiting on you. That's all it was. They just waiting on us. So it's
Yeah,
like as soon as we catch up and make that decision, it's like, okay, bam.
yeah,
This is what we need to do. So
yeah.
yep.
And that hearing that call or answering it or no responding to that goodness, it makes you really well, I'll say for me, I won't speak for you. You can tell me. It made me put the human aspect to the side because I realized that wasn't God, the universe, whatever, didn't give a human the blueprint on my movements.
Right.
And, and their desires from me are self-serving. So it almost, when I talk about, I'll say something like, oh, that's a human. I'm not listening to that. They're like, you're a human. And I'm like, but I know I'm a human. So why am I talking to another human about what I need to do? Or they going to tell me, like, nobody gave them permission. You, but that really takes a different thought process to get there.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah.
It does. So yeah, once you decide, things just kind of align, and you gotta put action to it in
Oh,
order for it
absolutely.
to come true. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's the truth. It's like you can say you want something and not do anything, but if you say you wanted to start walking, it's gonna start falling in front of you. And
Yeah.
it's hard to teach people or to talk to people who haven't realized it. That's the way it is. Do you run into that?
Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't that still look outside of themselves for their power. They don't realize that their power is within them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I come in contact with people all the time that you know I was them,
Mhm.
fearful, doubtful,
Mhm.
using the word can't in my
Yeah.
vocabulary, using the word trying in my vocabulary,
Yeah.
and just killing dreams before I even
Yeah.
start to pursue them. So, yeah.
Where did you think that thought process came from for you to be able to say can't or won't or it's not going to happen? Where do you think that stemmed from for you to have that?
Um, just learning about the divine feminine power within me.
Yeah.
It just has come over the years, just realizing, you know, whatever I want, I can have it. Whatever I want to see happen, I can create it. You know,
Yes.
we, and for me, it went back to the religious versus the spiritual.
Mhm.
When I was going my family's path, um, I was always, taught to look outside of myself, look up in the sky, or wait on whoever
Yes.
is going to
But
come
it didn't
to.
make sense.
Yeah,
And look,
but once.
my dad is a preacher. My dad is a preacher and I went through that. Like, what?
Yeah, right. I didn't understand all that. So anyway, once I learned that I can do all this, and whatever I want, I could just make it happen.
Yeah.
So I just started to retrain train my thoughts. Once I realized that words are spells and words have power, our tongue has so much power. I just, started watching what I said. And now I don't say trying, because trying, you ain't doing nothing.
Look, cheers to that. Cheers to that. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Cheers.
Trying, you ain't doing nothing. I don't say can't, because anything is possible. So
Yeah.
I'm just more mindful of stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think that's what it's about. It's like like I have a boundary for me is talking mean to me. When somebody says something and it sounds mean, and I don't get mad, because anger makes me exhaust me and I can't work. And if I'm angry, so, and I've learned that years ago, but when somebody says something that makes me, I just ask, oh, is it your intention to speak to me in that tone? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I need to know how to respond. Like, what's your intention? And because I don't want to misread anybody, and I don't want to exhaust myself for a human, right?
I just be like, who you think you're talking to? Who you talking to?
And people will usually be like, oh no, I was just trying to, or I'm like, oh, because it didn't feel good to me. And but that's me owning me in it, right? It's like, they want me to fuck them up, but I'm grown now.
Right. I got stuff to lose.
I just came to the store to get some coffee. Like, this ain't what I'm finna do with you because you having a bad day. But that, it made me kind of have to put down some strict boundaries of, hey, I'm goodness. You don't get to take that from me, and you don't
Right.
get to misuse me or make ill use of me. That's on me. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that must be, I never call it the divine feminine power or energy, because I don't know that I recognize that terminology, but that must be in me, because I'm like, go do that with your mama, because this ain't happening. Like, and this amazing thing is that it shut so many people down, men and other women.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I never realized that.
People are a trip. People are a trip. People are a trip. Sometimes, some people you gotta get them together. You gotta gather them up.
Yes,
But
let's do this. Right. Yeah. I just think that I literally I have gotten to a place that I miss so many social cues, because I'm like, I don't see that shit. You ain't gonna pull me into that with you. People be like, you didn't see she was coming for you. Well, she was coming on the first step and I'm on the 12th step. Like, she gonna have to come for me. Like, like, I just literally have gotten to this mind space that if it's not something good that you're trying to push or give, I'm not playing with it.
yeah. Yeah.
I can't do it, because I feel like I'm in such a yummy space. Like, I feel like
Well,
I'm in my gift.
it's your vibration. Once your vibration starts to raise, get higher and higher, it kind of eliminates a lot of the BS. So
Yeah. I'm trying. I told my guy friend one time, we were talking just not long ago. I was like, well, as a single woman, such and such and such. And he's like, you're not single. And I was like, well, yeah, I am. I'm not married. I'm single. He was like, but you're not. And I was like, yeah, I know I'm not married. I'm single. He was like, okay, so.
But you're spoken for.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say.
But for me, it's like, my black and white is black and white, because it seems like you've got to own it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I just move so black and white. And he was just like, well, how about, since you're not necessarily interested in being married, how about we make a promise? And I was like, do I get a ring for that? He was like,
is there a prize?
He's like, you can have a ring for whatever you want. Like, but you're not single. But in my mind, it's like I'm just on my path moving it. Like, I love you, you love me, we hang out, but my path is my focus. Like,
Right, right,
my gift to the universe, my giving back and moving a nation, that's my focus right now. And I think that's where I have to make sure I pay attention to those social cues of relationships, because I can get single vision, tunnel vision
right,
in my moving.
right, right.
Yeah,
Respect, respect.
I can't.
Yeah.
And I have to be okay with that. My mom will be like, I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks. And I'm like, what happened? Like, did something happen? Why you didn't call me? You needed me? Like what? She's like, no, I just figured you was busy. And I'm like, okay, I gotta know. I
Right.
really miss it. I miss a lot of those cues. So with your photography, real estate, and I know you have your son who's probably, how is he, 10 now?
He will be 9 in a couple weeks.
Look, I'm rushing him.
Oh, you can rush it. I'm ready for him to be grown.
As the baby is 9, but the
Tired of
oldest
cheering.
son. Hmm?
What I said, I'm tired of these cheering.
Hilarious. Your oldest son is how old?
He's 24.
24 and 9. Those are the two?
Yep.
So what's that age gap in there? What was that about?
I was right. I was young and dumb,
Okay.
and I had my first when I was 25, and thought that thought he was going to be my only one because
Yeah.
I was good,
Yeah.
But then me and my younger son Jace, his dad, we got together and got married, and um, I didn't even, we weren't really necessarily trying, but I mean, Jace
Yes.
came. Jace came, and Jace is here. So,
And then you're like, wow, this is another path. This is
right.
something I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When I was 40 years old, I was supposed to have another child.
I can't believe you're gonna be 50. Are you 50 this year?
I just turned 49, so I'll be 50 next year.
Oh my gosh, you are freaking beautiful. I would have not given you 50.
Oh, thank you. Yes, girl. 1972.
What? Look, 69. This is my 52nd year. Like, Lord, the struggle.
Both good years. Both
Yes,
very
yes,
good
yes.
years.
Yes, yes, yes. So you have and I love his name, Jace. Like I've since the first time I saw you post about him, I'm like, oh my God, that's such a dynamic name, Jace. So, and I see but you can tell in your pictures of your babies that you're very endearing. Like they have this sweet spot in you, and it comes out in your face when you're in pictures with them.
I love my boys. I love my boys. My older one, Josh, I mean, he basically saved my life. So,
Oh,
and I have a different relationship with both of them, but I love them. They just they're just amazing.
listen, I'm telling
And
you,
everybody says that about their kids, but
no, 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 no. When I see you in photos with them, there's something. Now, there's already a light in you, but with those babies, you're just kind of like everything is right with the world right now. Like you just you can see that. Like you literally.
that's how it feels when I'm with them. I'm like, okay, this is all I need.
This is it.
This
Yeah,
this is all I need. Yep.
yeah. You can see that, and I love that, and I think that there's so much lost on being a mom right now because a lot of times with the first child, we're literally growing up with them because I was 24 when I had my daughter. And,
Yep.
so although she was my first one, I learned she was like my test subject. Like I learned a lot on her. And
Yeah.
we grew up together. She is the one who will tell me like it is quick.
Yep.
Like, no, she will give it to me. And but she's also the one that's probably most like me, so
Mm-hmm.
but it's just so interesting. And I'm interviewing her next week for her birthday. She's a 411 baby, so I'm interviewing her next Saturday. I don't even know what that's gonna be like because, child, she is. I just have to remind her, look, you're working for Bank of America now. I need you to uh, tone it down a little bit. No, seriously. So, but I think that's the thing that makes us understand how important we are to the universe, because we understand that we were served as a vessel for these amazing lives.
Yep.
And so with that being said, what do you think, what quality of grown up Drea have you discovered that you believe you were supposed to give Josh? What about you was Josh supposed to have?
Mm. Wow, that's a good question. Um, wow, I've never been asked that question.
Well, good.
Um, what
Because
was I supposed to
you
give
see him
him?
lead, which is great.
I mean, I think he was supposed to give to me. I
Mhm.
don't know that I was supposed to
Supposed
give
to.
give him anything.
Yeah.
I feel like he came through to teach me
Oh, I
and
love that.
to help me grow. I
Perfect.
don't
That's a
know.
great answer.
Yeah,
That
I
is
don't
that
know
is
that I was
literally
supposed to.
that is a great answer, because it's probably it's the truest of what you have. Like, that is a great answer. That is
I
definitely a
mean,
great.
just thinking back to where I was mentally and emotionally back then, I know for sure he was here. He was sent here on purpose to save me.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I
Save
love
me
it.
from myself.
I love it. I do. Because it's like, and that's you recognizing the greatness in your child, in your children, because you know that there's something that they have for you. A lot of times parents don't recognize that they're supposed to acquiesce to the brilliance of the child. And it's
Right.
not like let the child do whatever, but
Right.
at least recognize the lesson in it or the gift in it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's dynamic. I love that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's
Yes,
true.
yes, yes, yes.
It's
Thank you.
true.
Look, I think that throat chakra is doing pretty good.
Hey.
I do believe so. So yeah, that's amazing. I love that answer. Yeah. Yeah. I'm probably gonna write about that in my blog.
Nice. Yeah,
I
and
love
then
it.
that second one, I don't know what he here for. I don't know what he's here for, but that's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah.
I'm expecting great things from him too.
Yeah.
So,
I think that the boy, listen, lu lucky you for having 2 men, 2 growing men, and because
girl,
girls are
I don't know what I would have done if I had girls. I don't know. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know
girl, they
what do
crazy.
you do with girls?
Girl, they crazy as hell. Like,
Mm-mm. I'm definitely a mother of boys. I could not have done
uh,
it. Mm-mm.
girl, they are crazy as hell. And Joya may tell the story next week, but honey, when I moved down here, baby, she was dancing at a strip club. But I'm a mom, so for me it was like, well, shit, I'm going to sit at the club after work. I got like shit, like, so but that was her kind of her moment of self-discovery. And
Right.
so it's like the girls just push limits like crazy as shit. Like, you be like, you knew all these years we've been talking about this and you're gonna go do it? And they be like, it's okay, come on.
Right.
Girls go crazy.
That's
My
the
girls,
fierceness of the feminine though. That's a beautiful thing.
and you have to love it. My youngest daughter was like, hey mom, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm pregnant. I'm like, and what you want to do? Because I'm solution. So I'm like, you telling me, so I got to take
Right.
action. She's like, well, I'm not gonna do nothing. I wanted to get pregnant, and I'm like, you were trying to get pregnant, and you're not doing shit with your life. Like, what the hell, But it's just like, and I think that's a part of me that I see in my daughters because they're just like vomit words out, and I'm just like, do I do that?
Yes, you probably do.
Yes, and my son, who's 18, is cool. Just chill. Hey,
Hmm.
mom. Hey, mom, what's up? And I'm like, what'd you call me for? I just want to know how you was doing. For real, you don't want nothing? Like, like that's it?
They're just
All right.
different. They're just
Yeah, the guys are
easier.
different.
Yep,
Yeah,
they're just easier.
yeah, they are. And I was like, dang, I could have had like a house full of them. I probably couldn't have fed them, but
I don't know about that, but I'm good with my two.
yeah, that's so funny. I think that when people think about the woman that you are and just how beautiful you are, the many dimensions of you, that people don't get access to that, and that's the whole point of this interview, is just to have you talk about who you are. You're a realtor, your plans, you're an artist, you're a mother, and now it's like this a whole person, and she got stuff going on. Like, that's real. Like, that's a big deal.
Yes, ma'am. I do. I'm happy with what I've discovered about me. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for the journey, all the lessons, and I'm just really excited for where I'm going. And
Yeah.
what's gonna be coming. So,
Yeah, good. I feel like our video has frozen. Oh, there we go.
oh,
What do you think, as far as, so you want you to see your work in magazines, and you want to see, so we talked about that. You want to see your photography in magazines and on the real estate websites, and you want that piece. What else, what other dreams? What do you, not dreams, what else do you want? Is there anything else?
um, I want to sell enough houses to where I can eventually have a brokerage where people work for me and I
Mhm.
can be off traveling
Yeah,
and taking my pictures, learning other cultures, and you
and
know,
they're making it work.
hmm
So my question for you in wanting that, have you purchased your web domain for that? Do you have a name for it?
web domain for
Your
photography.
brokerage, for your brokerage.
Oh, oh no, I don't have a brokerage name just yet.
Well, then you need one.
I do need one.
You need
I
one.
do
You need
need
to
one.
put it in, you know what? Put it in motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on paper somewhere by your domain, whether you're holding it or not. I mean, whether hold it and use that, and you know that it's coming.
Thank you. Thank you for that. You're the second person that really verbalized that for me. I hadn't even verbalized it for myself, but you're the
Yeah.
second person that put that out there. So yeah,
But and
I'm a start.
we're just co-signing what you said, like the goodness in you and the greatness of what's to come. You lay the foundation for it to come, and I mean, and that's what it's about now. It's like, for the digital time that we live in, and it's so easy to establish. And even if you have the name and you establish the LLC, once you start, you can say since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
Mm-hmm.
it's 2024, it's been a part of your thought process. And it's been a part of what's happening, and we have to capitalize on that. So might as well lay
Right.
the groundwork for it.
Right. Right.
Because I'm thinking when you start traveling the world, Jace will be through high school. You probably won't start before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless I take them with me.
Unless
But
you take
we'll
it with
see.
you. And listen, and that will be amazing for him.
Mhm.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So I just think that um, you're just such an amazing woman, and your energy, your spirit, and just the goodness of you. I'm so grateful to have had it on my timeline, like in my life, and I'm
Oh,
ever like in. I'm so happy to have you here. A part of my life. So
thank you, Joy.
yeah,
Love you.
back at you. I mean, it's important. You're amazing. We need to hear that.
I,
We need
I
to
just be on there clowning. Just, my sarcastic self and posting about, I don't know,
whatever.
just, yeah, whatever I feel
Yeah.
like posting and side eyeing people.
But and that doesn't matter because we can always see the truth. You can at, when you get to a place in your existence, you can see the truth. And if it doesn't feel good or doesn't look good, you don't give it any attention. And you've been you've been genuine since the first time I saw you. Like I see that today. Now you've probably gone through transitions but what I see, I saw.
I mean, and I have to be like that. Like I can't be any other way. I have
Yeah.
a lot of different facets of who I am, but
Hmm.
at the core, it's just me. It's
It,
just me
yeah,
figuring it
and
out.
that's it. What do you have to be you? Because everybody else is already taken.
True, true. And I don't want to be anybody else. So it's all
That's yeah. So, is there anything you'd like to wrap up and tell our viewers and about yourself or what your plans are or anything?
good. I mean, well, we touched on the photography. We did touch on the real estate. If anybody's looking for a realtor, if you want to buy or sell a house, hit me up,
I
DM
send them.
me.
I send them your way. I send them
I
your way
appreciate
when
that.
I see it. I send them.
I appreciate that. Atlanta market is still hot, so hit me
Yeah.
up. But no, I just appreciate you having me on. I the interviews have been amazing. There have been some really awesome women on, with the books and everything that they're doing. Except with her, she's chefing it up. Like
Yep.
I'm honored to be among, such a great lineup of
Oh,
divine ladies. So I appreciate you.
yeah. And you know what? I appreciate you. And I just keep moving. The universe keeps giving, and I just keep moving in it because that's all I can do at this point. It's like I'm literally like out of control. It's almost like and I'm here for it. I'm literally here for we're gonna get off this interview, and I'm gonna pack my bag and I'm going to have an MRI.
But Joy, you're doing your thing. Like you're doing some amazing stuff. So I'm very proud of you. Very
I
proud
hope
of
so.
you.
Thank you. I literally hope so. I one thing that I just launched and I haven't really talked about much is that one thing people know about me is that I love men. Like men are my thing. I love them. And I always thought that I'm supposed to love one and make him great. And then
Hmm.
it dawned on me that I can love a lot of them and make them great. So I established a scholarship foundation for Black American men, for young men in
Wow.
high school to give them scholarships through college. And it just started. It's called Growing Men. We are the foundation.
Wow.
So
That's
I felt
awesome.
you feel this maternal thing for men but then they're not supposed to be your husband.
Not all of them.
Right. So you're like, I'm supposed to mother my husband. And I was able to, and I'll talk to you about that. We have a golf tournament every year. Maybe you can come out next year and take some pictures at the Marietta Country Club on Powder Springs Road. Beautiful. So I'll talk to you about that. But I just connected with these men these golfers, and the foundation grew from 2000, actually, like from ideas I had then to now. And I was able to launch it just not even 2 weeks ago. So it's literally about just planning yourself and moving where you're supposed to move. And
Right.
that's probably my big thing that I'm working on right now.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I will post and send people your way if they're buying or selling houses, or if they
I
want some great
appreciate that.
photography. I'm going to tell you, once I read, I've got a poetry book, I've got a essays and prayers book, I've got a novel. So I've got like 3 books. Once I read them, I'm gonna let you know, and then maybe you can provide some art for them, and then you'll have you some cover art.
Ooh. Love it. Love it. Love
What we
it.
do. What we do. So this is Joycelyn Wells, and it's been a pleasure. I've spent an hour with Drea Mills, and I'm just enamored by her. She's an amazing woman, and we absolutely appreciate you being with us. The video will be available on YouTube, and it is on Facebook as well. So we'll just definitely kind of keep the momentum going. And up next week, we have my daughter. Who knows what that's going to be about? So,
I
Drea,
can't
thank
wait
you
to
so
see
much.
that one.
Oh my gosh, she is a hoot. So, Drea, thank you so much for spending this hour with me. You could have been doing anything else, but you're here with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you.
for whoever that tuned in. See
Yes,
y'all.
absolutely. It'll be great. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
Bye bye.